Certainly. You're excited. Feel these nipples.
Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back once again. I'd like to share with you now an utterly insane product. Now, you guys know I love flashlights just about as much as I love high-end knives. And typically when I am getting a flashlight, it's going to be something quite fancy with expensive materials, crazy drivers, insane performance, and very unique. Limited, custom-made, one-off, that sort of thing. Because it's fun. I'm a gear whore, and I'm totally okay with admitting that. However, this brand here, Sofirn, reached out to me recently after I did my Nightcore EDC 27 video and said, hey, we dig what you're doing. Would you like to check out some of our lights and give us some feedback? And hey, if you like them, review them, go for it, have fun, enjoy. And I got to tell you, before I replied, I took a look at their products and I saw the prices and went, yeah, this ain't for me. Guys, this is a $900 flashlight that I carry every single day. I've shown you Hanko's $500, $600, $800,000. I have shown you Lux RCs. I have shown you McGizmo Haikus for $450. Because these are the kind of lights that I really enjoy. And I've carried for years. Now, I don't have all those lights anymore. I do plan on getting some more again, but I'm going to tell you right now, just like with most other things that I really get into, the obsession hit me hard. And it becomes a collectible thing. And yes, there is a definite pride of ownership having this gorgeous, massive chunk of titanium and tritium and looking at the intricate machining that's been done to perfect this and enjoying every bit of that. However, that doesn't mean it's going to be the greatest performer in the world. And there are lots of other lights out there. What I didn't realize is that for about 40 bucks, I can get into something like this. And I'm going to be honest with you, I might be wrecked forever. Now, this is a very specialized light right here. This is the IF23. Runs on a 21700 5000 milliamp hour battery. And here's the deal. It is a 1500 lumen on high light. Now, what a lot of these companies do is they will tell you what the lumen output is on their light, and they'll use the turbo and say that. And in this case, it's 4,000 lumens. But that's turbo. And turbo doesn't last as long as the other settings. So what it really is, it is a 1500 lumen light with the capability of shooting up to 4,000 lumens. And in that turbo, you've got also over 15,000 candela. So it's a solid performer. What I really dig about this is it's more than just a standard run-of-the-mill everyday flashlight that you're going to carry in your pocket, and you're going to have limited things that you can do with it. So, by the way, you're going to be seeing a video on this Sofirn very soon as well, the SC29. I'm actually really excited about that one too. But this one does something that no other flashlight, handheld flashlight that I've ever had does. Now, many of you know I'm a photographer. You see a lot of the images that I do at the beginning of my videos. And as a photographer, we use diffuse lighting in our studios. Now, I have a 5-light studio set up over this photography table here, and it's all diffuse lighting. I use continuous lighting. A lot of people like to use strobes and stuff like that. I've always been a continuous lighting guy because I try to pull everything I can through the lens. I try to limit the amount of Photoshop and stuff that I do. So I rely heavily on seeing exactly what my shot is going to be in real time under the actual lighting. So along with the standard white diffuse lights that I'm using, a lot of times photographers and videographers will use LED lighting as well. RGB. This has all of that. You've got your standard flashlight here, and you're looking at a Cree XHP50B with a really, really nice reflector built into there. But then you've got 20 CSP1313 LEDs inside of here. That's the white lights. Then you have 10 JF387FY color LEDs that give you the RGB. The light also will work as a power bank. So I can charge my light via this port here, or I can run a cable out to my cell phone, to another flashlight, whatever I need to power, and run this as a power bank. So, I mean, you've got this one great tool in your pocket. I don't know, could possibly save your life. You could use it as an emergency beacon. We'll get into that in a few minutes. You can use it as a flashlight to just look around, you know. And I have it on lockout mode right now. That's why it's flashing. And you could also charge up your cell phone so that battery never dies. This is a nice little emergency thing. All this at $40. As far as its durability, it feels like it's built like a tank. You're looking at an IP68 rating, which isn't, astounding, but it's nothing to shake a stick at. And again, I go back to this reflector. I really like this reflector. It reminds me a lot of the Haiku reflector. It's deep and it's dimpled, so it should be good for a really nice flood with a little bit of throw and a nice clean spill. So I think you're going to get a good concentrated hot spot, and then it's going to go soft into the spill, and I don't think there's going to be a harsh line in between any of it. We'll find out together in just a few minutes. Now, let's talk about how you use this thing, because there is a lot to memorize here. So let me unlock it. Okay, so it's unlocked. Let's turn it back off. Okay. First off, you have your LED status indicator here on the switch. One single press will turn on your main light. Hold it down, and it will step through low, medium, and high. Low, medium, high. Now, if you prefer ramping over step, you could do that too. There we go. And now we have a smooth ramp, and it's going to flicker to let you know you've reached the maximum setting. And then the next time you push and hold, it's going to go downward. And then when it gets to its lowest setting, now you're in your moonlight. I actually like the smoothness of the ramp, but I know a lot of people that just prefer to have the step because they can just count it off 1, 2, 3. low, medium, high. And leave it at that. Okay, so now we've got it on. We want to get to that crazy 4,000 lumens. We just double click. Now you got 4,000 lumens of insanity. Now, if I want strobe, caution, strobe warning, if you're epileptic or you have any issues with flashing lights, you just want to kind of fast forward a little bit. I could double click and go to strobe. And that strobe will also be at 4,000 lumens. If I double click again, it's going to be the SOS. Also at 4,000 lumens. And if I double click from there, I can have an emergency beacon. Now you're lost on a deserted island and you look up in the sky and you see an airplane or a helicopter flying over. You got your beacon on. That's 4,000 lumens of light that's just boom, 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 boom. Pretty sure they're going to see you. I can't guarantee anything, obviously, but that's kind of the idea. You're lost in the woods, same thing. This can signal for help. Now, here's the fun part. So we're back on, right? Watch what happens when I triple click. Well, now I've got my diffused light. So if I want to, let's say I'm not in my studio, I'm in a hotel for some reason, I want to do some quick photography, and I don't want harsh lighting on my subject, I've got my diffused light. Now it's going to be the same way for the intensity on this light. I can push and hold down, low, medium, high, low, medium, high. And I can also turn that into a ramping mode instead of step as well. Now, what happens at each of those steps? You've got 10 lumens, 50, and 150. It's quite a bit of light. Want more? Boom, double click it, and you've got a turbo mode on the side light, which gives you 500 lumens. But wait, there's more. Triple click. Oh, now I've got my RGB mode. I can turn up the intensity on that. Actually, if you hold it down, you're going to be scrolling through the color spectrum. There's your purple. It's easier if I do this. Going magenta, pink, red, orange, amber, yellow, light green, lime green, teals and blues. And this is really, really great for the times that you're trying to add a little bit of atmosphere. Maybe you're a YouTuber, you want to do some cool videos. Maybe you're reviewing high-tech gadgets or something. If you ever watch any of those channels, what do they have? They have all kinds of different colors on the set behind them. And that's what they're using, just much, 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 much larger, big RGB color bars. So we've got, oh, by the way, there is a way to have both of these on at the same time. I just don't remember what it is right now. Oh, no, don't do that. There we go. So if you were in the RGB mode and you triple clicked again, you can, for whatever reason you want to, have both lights on at one time. If I turn it off and go back and click it once, I'm just going to get the main light. So when we talk about having an emergency situation at home, maybe there's a big storm, the power goes out, a lot of times we'll break out our flashlights and we'll point them up at the ceiling and let it reflect off the ceiling, and it kind of lights up the room. But now you could do that with the side light. Instead of having the big one on, now you could do it with this. This is also going to be really, really good for camping, I would think, as well, if you're inside the tent. And again, you can set your different intensity levels. And you don't have a bright, crazy light shining you directly in the face. It's a much softer, much easier to deal with light. Also, you've got the magnetic tail cap on here as well. So If you are, I don't know, you're stranded on the side of the road, you got to change the tire. You stick that bad boy to the fender, point the side light down, give it a triple click. It's going to illuminate that whole area for you. Now, there are things I don't love about the light. Number one is the odd shape. So your typical body is going to be round, obviously. And this is mostly round. But then it's flat on these two sides, and then it's raised and flat on the side with the side light. It makes it feel a little bit awkward in the hand. It is pretty big, especially when you factor in the pocket clip. But it can't be helped because you've got the side light. It has to be built like this. Clip style. I hate that this can come off. I don't like that. I don't like that on any light. There's a lot of lights that have clips that come off. And if I'm clipping this inside of my pocket, I don't want anything to ever happen.
Surprise!
Where you know what? I guess I shouldn't hate that anymore because that is not going to come off there. You're going to break the clip before you're going to before you're going to yank it off.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. It is just a cheap steel clip. I'm going to have to reach out to the boys at Sofirn and try to get myself a new clip because I'm not much of a lanyard person. By the way, you do get your USB to USB-C and your lanyard in the packaging. Forgot to mention that before. And don't be a jackass like me. I'm probably going to cut myself on that later. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather just kind of stay in one place. Mainly, I wasn't a fan of the fact that it's limited to where it can go. If it could spin all the way around, then it could be used as a wedge to kind of hold the light up in different positions, especially because you're going to use this for various different things. And again, if you're a photographer and you want to use that, you want to shine a little bit of colored light onto your subject, well, your subject's probably not going to be right here. It's probably going to be over here, and you're going to want to angle it a little bit and get it just right. So I wish the clip would allow me to do that. And the only other thing that I really don't love about the light is the fact that while I love the fact that it has a lot of functionality, that can create some confusion, especially if you're carrying different lights throughout the week, or maybe this is going to be the light you keep in your backpack, and you may only reach and grab for it once a month, twice a year, once a year, something like that, and you may forget all of the different things that it does and what you have to do to access all those different modes. So yeah, that could be kind of a pain. That's really about it. I think for $40, it's an insane value. If you are a person that has some sort of adventurous life where you might be taking the road less traveled, let's say, and you're worried about the battery on your phone dying, you don't want to carry a big, 10,000 milliamp hour power bank on you. It's got a lot of weight to it. It's got a lot of size. You're already going to have a flashlight because you need your flashlight. And then that's going to double as your power bank. That's a good idea. Having the diffuse light for the campsite may be a great idea for you. There's so many fun things that you can do with this that I think for a $40 investment, it's like you can't go wrong. But as with every light, it comes down to what we see when we go outside. So let's do that. Let's take a look at this thing outside and see how it performs. Okay, let's see how this works. I guess there can be a little bit of utility to the RGB lights. Not really a lot, I wouldn't say. So there is the diffused light. It works pretty good for things that are close up. And that is with both of them running. Okay, let's turn that down a little bit. Oh, that's up, down, medium, high. There we go, there's low. So I think that's perfectly reasonable. Now, let's see what this bad boy will do at a distance. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Man, oh man. Now, I'm not sure what kind of tree this is here behind my house, but boy, it really lights up well. I'm going to be honest with you, this has got a lot more throw than I expected. And for right now, I'm going to ditch the tripod because it's just too difficult to work with. Yep, I think that is perfectly reasonable. Let's see what happens when I kick this bad boy on a turbo. Right now, I am in high mode, I believe. Let's just double check. So there's high. Oh yeah, high is looking pretty good. All right, turbo. 4,000 watts. This thing is utterly ridiculous. Now, to give you some sort of comparison here, I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to leave that pointed where it's at, and I'm going to show you in comparison to 3,000 lumens. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that one off now. Now what I'm using here is the EDC27, and that's a bit floodier. To be honest, I really, really like how this one works. This is pretty fantastic. All in just the right form factor as well. Until you forget the UI and you blind yourself. Yeah, so there's that.